Luv Lubker is a Victorian royal history researcher who's researched Queen Victoria's family for over 7 years, and she's here with us just now. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Now, your new book, Under His Spell, The Rival Courts, what's that book about, first of all?
So it's about Queen Victoria's eldest daughter, who went by Vicky, and her husband, Friedrich Wilhelm, who became the German emperor, but he was the Prince of Prussia, but Kaiser Wilhelm's parents. So Kaiser Wilhelm of World War I is Queen Victoria's granddaughter, but it's about the parents' early life and first few years of marriage.
And what interested you so much to write about Queen Victoria's family?
I researched the Bronte sisters, the Charlotte Bronte and her sisters, for a few years, and when I ran out of new information there, I looked up events that it talked about. The Great Exhibition, the First World's Fair that Charlotte Bronte went to was where Vicky and Fritz of my story met when she's only 10.
Yeah.
She's his guide for the Great Exhibition when she's 10. But I read about the Brontes with that connection, and also Charlotte Bronte went to school in Belgium that she based some of her books on. And the school she went to was right next to the palace where Queen Victoria's uncle, who was King of Belgium, lived.
Yeah. And how did you go about doing your research then?
Oh, I started with watching documentaries on YouTube, and I'm in Texas, so I have a really good university library that has a lot of books.
And it's interesting, being from Texas, I guess you wouldn't have as much exposure to the history of our royal family as much as we do, right? So I guess, did you have to find out a lot of stuff that you might have never have heard of?
Yeah.
So how long did the book take you to write then?
I actually wrote it in 3 months, but I'd researched for so long, and my family and friends always said I should write a book. And I read another book, Claire McHugh's book, A Most English Princess, that's about Vicky also, as a story, and just differences in how she portrayed things that made me want to tell my own version, and I'm doing it more with Fritz's perspective, which I haven't seen anybody else do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also more of the story of what's really behind the people who lead up to World War I, and just from a different point of perspective, because I read Friedrich III's diary in German. I'm teaching myself German.
Yeah.
So learning very different part of history that's not generally published in English.
Yeah. And did you do any research on any other members of the royal family that interested you?
Yes, I've done that. I've done Queen Victoria and Albert, and Queen Victoria and John Brown, and that's how I got started. Also, my parents had watched the movie Mrs. Brown, and my mom asked me what was the truth of that story, so I searched that out as much as I could, and then I've done Nicholas and Alexandra of Russia and various others, a lot of the different connections.
Yeah. So when you're not writing books, what do you like to get up to in your spare time then?
I read a lot of the same stuff, and also Victorian era novels and stuff. So Bronte sisters, Elizabeth Gaskell, George Eliot, Anna Green Gables.
Yeah.
And I'm Raw food chef for my family.
And do you have any more books that you are thinking about writing in the future?
Yes, I've got a 6-book series planned that's the Rival Courts, but following the same characters, Vicky and Fitz, through their lives.
Yeah.
I've started several books, started the next 3 already, and also have more series under the Rival Courts, do one with England and one with Russia. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Vicky and the Queen's letters. There's a 6-volume set of their letters.
Ooh.
So it's Dearest Child and Dear Mama and stuff like that. But it's like they talk about all the royal family and other families and stuff. So when I get to the end of another line of research, I always come back to their letters. So I know their story really well.
Yeah.
And then now getting into his diary, Fritz's Friedrich III,
Yeah.
doing a 600-page volume in German.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, where are we able to check out this book then?
TheRivalCourts.com. I have it on sale for the rest of this month for my birthday is the 30th. So I have a birthday sale right now. To the end of the month. TheRivalCourts.com.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.